I'd like to call order the Clinton Township Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for Wednesday, February 18th, 2026 at 6:30. Would everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
All right. We have Mr. Shackelford,
Present.
Mr. Ranlett,
Here.
Mr. Alexander is
Excused.
excused. And then we have Mr. Knoll,
Here.
Mr. DiBartolomeo,
Here.
Mr. Ireland,
Here.
myself, Shannon King, I am here, Mr. Pearl.
Here.
All right, also in attendance, we have our planning director, Bruce Thompson.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Is there support?
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Before we begin, I have a little statement I have to read by law. The Board of Appeals functions as a quasi-judiciary body with specific powers and limitations as outlined in the various sections of the zoning ordinance and the state statutes. The zoning ordinance sets the standards the board must use in reaching any decision. Once a decision of the board becomes final, only the courts can modify or reverse that decision. The board is not empowered to change the terms or intent of an ordinance. Therefore, you must petition the Township Board of Trustees if you wish to amend an ordinance. Before a variance can be granted, certain requirements must be satisfied. 1, practical difficulty must be demonstrated. 2, whether strict compliance with area, setbacks, frontage, height, bulk, or density would unreasonably prevent the owner from using the property for a permitted purpose, or it would render conformity unnecessarily burdensome. 3, whether a variance would do substantial justice to the petitioner as well as to other property owners in the district, or whether a lesser relaxation would give substantial relief, be more consistent with justice to others. 4, whether the plight of the owner is due to unique circumstances of the property. 5, whether the problem is self-created. 6, that the spirit of the ordinance observed, public safety secured, and justice done. First item, request for variance to allow 148 parking spaces where 155 are required. Mr. Secretary?
All right, we have file 26A7123. We have 47 pieces of mail mailed out with 1 returned. Our file name is 35110 Garfield Road with petitioner Robert Nudger from Astro Center LLC. And as you stated, request for variance to allow for 148 parking spaces where 155 are required.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? Could you give your name and address for the record, please?
I'm representing for Mr. Najjar. My name is Tim Story with Story Engineering Group. Address is 48264 Manchester Drive, Macomb Township.
Thank you. You want to state your request for variance?
Yeah, we're requesting a variance to provide 7 less parking spaces than is required due to the practical difficulty and size and shape of the property.
Okay, can you give us an idea of what you're doing with it? We realized that originally it was a Macomb Daily building with a printing press.
Hence the practical difficulty.
And then, I don't know what you do with the building. Then Astro Center moved in, and I think they were selling appliances.
Yeah, that's what they're planning to do. There was somebody else there before that,
Oh, there was?
doing the same thing. They were selling appliances too.
Okay.
I think that's where they got the idea, yeah.
All right, so you were talking about adding some parking spots? Is this gone to planning?
No, if the variances are granted, it will go to planning. It has been submitted as a revised site development plan approval.
So it doesn't go to the township board?
It would not, no.
Okay.
So there's no changes to the building. There's no changes to the parking on this side.
Which is the north side.
We're right on the west side, I'm sorry, that'd be the north side.
Yeah.
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 The changes, most of them are in the back here. We're just trying to get as much parking as we can get on the site because the ordinance says we need 155 spaces, but and this is the manyest I could get, it was 148. Reworking the front here, barrier-free entrances in the front and in the rear.
I presume that's because it's retail?
Yes.
That is
What-
correct.
What would you need all those for otherwise? I mean,
Well,
I mean, whether, if it was office or retail, the parking requirement is about the same,
yeah. I mean, obviously, if I can, Mr. Chairman, the site was designed based on the existing use. And so to reuse that building, it just means, retail requires more parking than
Right.
what was basically a distribution facility. And so it's
I mean,
just,
it was essentially industrial, really.
right.
what do you do with the two-story? Not that it matters, but just wondering, the two-story part of the building where the printing presses were.
It's basically offices for them. And upper, everywhere.
So it's divided into offices on 2
Yeah, and we're
floors?
just calling the whole thing retail, but I mean, essentially, they're gonna have a few offices for their, their people.
So they divide the level, or is there one elevation all the way up, or is it in that part of it?
I honestly don't remember. I've only been in the building once.
It doesn't matter on the variance, I was just wondering.
They have a couple different levels. I'm not sure how the Macomb Daily uses it. I do know there's one area where there's a huge opening from the basement up to the first floor.
Yeah.
And that is, I was told, is where one of their huge printing
Yes,
presses
yeah,
was
we
at.
toured it then.
That's what they had to do to get it to fit in there, but I don't know how they got it out of the building. They must have tore it apart, but.
Didn't they used to sell appliances there before at one time? too?
Yeah, there was a guy that owned it before him, and he was selling appliances, but they didn't really do any improvements to the property. Rob, he actually, not knowing what he needed to do, he just bought it, and because the price seemed pretty reasonable for what you were getting, and that he bought it from those people, whoever they were, and then he actually has done some improvements. He's painted it and fixed things that were broken. I mean, if you drive by now, as opposed to like 3 years ago, it looks a lot better now, actually. But
Okay, anything
the-
else you'd like to, we'll go to the board in a second, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Anything else you want to add?
I mean, that's it. We're just trying to get it approved so he can, use it for retail. And to do that, we need to provide a lot of additional parking, and
Okay.
that's what we're proposing to do.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that has a question about this item or a comment?
I do.
Please come up. If you wouldn't mind to give your name and address
My
for the...
name is Grace Delia. I live behind the property. And to say that it's been upkept, no. I had to call the city to complain about a tree that has fallen, and it fell part of it into my property. And as a matter of fact, I took pictures this evening. There is still part of the stump of the tree on the property. Be more than happy to share it. And the other tree looks like
Well,
it's coming.
I think that would be directed to the planning commission, more when they review the site plan. I don't think it has anything to do with the variance,
Okay,
but thank you for bringing it up. But I can't
we can't address it.
address that, but the planning commission could. When they look at the whole site plan,
Okay.
they can look at it.
Anybody I should talk to?
I'll
Well-
talk to you after the meeting if you want to.
Okay,
Sure. But thanks for bringing it up, and
thank you.
I note your concern. Anyone else? No? Okay, I'll open up to the board. Any, sir?
If they used to sell appliances, did the parking place requirement change over the last, before that, or?
Actually, the parking requirements, through the chair, have actually changed, but are a little bit more, or a little less stringent. But it's the amount of floor space that this gentleman is going to be utilizing that's the difference.
Okay.
So the guy selling the appliances didn't use that much?
Not all of it, no.
So part of it was warehousing?
And part of it was just unused because of the, the way that the building was built and the way it sits. My understanding was that gentleman didn't really make a whole lot of improvements to the building. He just utilized what was there, and that was that. So,
Okay, we're just looking at the variance on the parking. We have nothing to do with the site plan. I was just asking questions about general. Go by a lot. Anyone else on the board have a question, comment? Okay. What's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a variance to allow for 148 parking spaces where 155 are required under the plight of the owner is due to the unique circumstances of the property.
Okay, is there support?
Support.
Discussion on the motion? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Randlet.
Yes.
Mr. Ireland.
Yes.
Mr. Shackelford.
Yes.
Mr. Nault.
Yes.
I myself, I vote yes. Mr. DiBartolomeo.
Yes.
Mr. Pearl.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Variance is passed unanimously. It'll go to the Planning Commission
March 12th.
March 12th, and Mr. Bartomelo will be chairing it.
I won't be there.
No, he
Oh, you won't be there?
No.
Oh. Well, please get with our planning director for the circumstances, and you've been warned about the tree, so tell the owner. Okay. Next item is public comments in general. Are there any comments from the audience regarding any ZBA matter? No? Okay. Approval of the January 21st, 2026 meeting minutes. Has everybody read them? Any changes? I'll entertain a motion.
So move. Support.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Discussion on the next meeting agenda?
We have no items for March.
Oh, okay. No item.
No items. I do not expect that for April. I don't have anything yet, but that time of year, that's when things start rolling in. So I'll email you folks and let you know if and when we do have items for April.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion made and second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.